Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and as always, welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. Yes, welcome to that lovely week in between the release of The Infinite Forbidden and the North American World Championship qualifiers, where nothing's really big going on in terms of events, and one that I had expected would be a bit of a slower one. And thanks to my arrogance in that assumption, not only was it a hectic week instead of a slow one, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Died on like 3 separate occasions as far as Twitter is concerned, so that was cool. But before we go over the stuff the good people of Chronically Online world are stressed about, let's look at what we in the business call a rare win for Konami. And that was a genuinely unexpected communication from the company about the ban list. In a tweet wholly unprompted, just so long as we ignore the ravenous screaming from the community, Konami announced that we won't be getting a ban list until late August, so that they can, quote, see the impacts of the Infinite Forbidden on the game. Now, due to the fact that this guarantees nothing will be done to the objectively best deck that is Snake Eye, and when you realize that Fiend Smith isn't so much a deck as much as it is the world's perfect hand trap protection in the form of an engine for any given deck, including the best deck Snake Eye, it's pretty fucking obvious as to what the set is going to do to the metagame. Kill the game immediately for everyone ever everywhere, because tweets cannot lie and people are only rational online. In all actuality, it's going to be solidifying Snake Eye even more as the best deck, as the general consensus, at least if you go off the word of anyone who's even remotely competitive about this game. So obviously, that really sucks, because this format has already gotten stale for the majority of people, certainly vocally for the vocal majority of people, and it's just going to be even more of that, but even worse somehow, thanks to Fiend Smith, which is a lot like pulling a copy of a quarter-century secret rare Sol and Luna, in that regardless of which instance you're in, you wish you were dead instead of dealing with your current reality. But it is at least communication. The one thing that we've begged for months and years and, I don't know, a decade, is communication. So while it is easy to point out the things that suck about the format and the things that suck for your wallet and the things that suck in general, since late August could instead be an actual fucking date instead of just a generic period of time, it is better than we've had for years. Quite literally, this is so out of line for Konami that my timeline and most people's timeline looked something like this, which was just everyone going, holy shit, they communicated. Absolute disbelief to that idea. So ideally, we can at least appreciate the communication and recognize that while it isn't perfect, it is a good step forward, because it would be very easy to just go back to the radio silence that Konami has been giving us for, again, like a fucking decade. So that'd be really cool if we could just handle this maturely. Unfortunately, we in this instance refers to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community, which are a group of children, and if they aren't children, explain exactly Farfa's audience. All right, fuck it. That's it. Please be respectful to Konami. All I want is more communication. So let's just, the tried and true golden statement: be a dude, not a dick. And so with that bit of optimism and hopefulism out of the way, let's get back to the negativity that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community knows, loves, and endures on with. Because Maxx is back, and it is back, baby. In the new reveals for Rage of the Abyss, we got our second Mulcharmy card that is visually a bird, but I hate birds and they're evil, so all my opinions on disliking this card are now justified. It gets you a draw each time the opponent will summon from the main or extra deck, and the balance is, of course, that you have to control no cards to use it. You can only have 6 more cards than your opponent has cards on their field at the end of the turn, and of course it does absolutely nothing in regards to summons from the hand grave or banishment. So it is a weaker version of the bug, but it is still very strong. My take is probably that just from the extra deck would have been enough. Is that crazy? Am I out of line? It doesn't matter what my take is, in all honesty, because this is what we got, and it is a phenomenal going second tool, which in all reality is probably something Yu-Gi-Oh! Could use in the current state. If you think that this coming to the TCG at all is bad news, just wait until you find out it's getting the Magia treatment of only being a quarter-century secret rare. That's a lie. That's not even remotely true, but could you fucking imagine if it would? I think someone would die, I'm pretty sure. Still, it doesn't mean you have to like it though, and there are many others who don't like it have now confirmed again that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dead. The funeral will of course be held on every single day for the rest of time, so long as you look at Twitter at any point in time in regards to the context of Yu-Gi-Oh! So don't need to worry about missing that. This was just one of many new cards revealed over the course of the last week, which I've covered in new card reports if you're interested, as well as the new Yugioh cards from the deck builder crossover breakers, I think it is, and of course the new Goblin cards and Blue Eyes, because Blue Eyes is eternal. I think Blue Eyes is coming out, so either way it'll be here. So fuck it, Maxx is now back, and other new cards as well. This was all just fucking shoehorning in my other stuff. Thanks. On to the next one. And the next one is a simple truth. Speed Duel is fucking dead. Now, in all reality, I could probably just wrap up the segment there. It's ended. But that would basically be like a Bethesda game, because to do so would be to ignore the blatant bugs. Speed Duel Battle City Finals is the official end of Speed Duel products for the game, as confirmed by Konami, because according to them, they were all too similar anyways. I guess that's what happens when you refuse to move past any of your shows that ended from 2007. Still, in this last hurrah for the confirmed reprints of Speed Duel Battle City Finals, there is notably Maxx for no real reason. It's just in the Speed Duel product. Because money? I actually have no clue. If you're playing old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Formats, it's a very nice thing to have in terms of reprints, because truthfully all the Speed Duel sets have mainly been good for that. If you don't care for Speed Duel. That and the random blinged out secrets like the secret rare Baby Sarasaurus or other random cards such as that. Speed Duel was also a very fun, simple style of Yu-Gi-Oh! That I think was kind of undervalued as a way to show players how to play the game on a base level, and did so far better than that dog shit 2-player starter set we got earlier this year. Because I don't care what you people say, I will die on this hill. That product fucking sucked for teaching someone to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Do not at me. Don't put this shit out in the same year you release Fiendsmith, okay? Let's be fucking real here. They're also putting Medora in the Speed Duel set as well. Like the Shizu format shuffler Medora in Speed Duel for no reason. Or I guess because Shizu is in the battle. See, I get it, but it's like, why the fuck? Medora feels very out of place alongside Maxx in regards to the power levels of the game in general. On point though, but does this mean Konami is bringing Maxx back into the TCG proper? We are getting the more balanced version of it in Info and Rhoda, and presumably the set afterwards, and this is itself a side set of its own mini version of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's marketed as a separate thing from the game proper. So it does exclusively make sense as a way to bring it back into the main game, right? No, I disagree with that entirely. It seems like it's just a cash grab for the last product of Speed Duel to get the most money out of it as they can, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but Maxx is like $15 for the structure deck common at the cheapest, which is $45 for a playset of a banned card. Yeah, Duck says I'll pass. Okay, paying $45 for a playset of Maxx feels like pulling a quarter-century secret rare Sol and Luna, and that I would literally rather do anything else up to and including die. And speaking of new product, Konami also released this week the confirmation of the quarter-century Bonanza, an upcoming set which, yes, is the real name. I don't know why they called it that either. Scheduled to release on November 8th of this year, this set will have 5 cards per pack and is quite literally just Rarity Collection 3, but they didn't want to call it that, I guess because making us spend money on a product called Bonanza was too funny an opportunity to pass up. Honestly, kind of respect it. This is nearly identical to the first Rarity Collection, with the cards being available in all the rarities from Super to Quarter Century Secret, but there's a bit of a twist, because while each pack will have the 5 cards with 2 Supers, 2 Ultras, and a Secret, and the same chance to get in either Prismatic Collectors or a Prismatic Ultimate or a Platinum Secret or a Quarter Century Secret, there will instead not be one pool of cards to be pulling from. There's 2 pools. The first pool of cards is the 78 cards in the set, including a confirmed Diabell Star, Promethean Princess, and Super Polymerization. But where it gets neat is 1 card in each pack will always either be a Platinum Secret Rare or a Quarter Century Secret Rare, and will be pulled from a different pool of 200 cards that is separate from the 78 card pool of the core set. They are quite literally calling this 2 sets in 1. So 4 of your cards will be from the 78 card pool, and 1 of your card will always be from that collection of 200 and will always be one of the 2 fancy secret rares. This is being done as many cards as possible, so as to get as many cards as possible, the quarter century secret rare rarity, since they have finally at least addressed the fact that our 2-year celebration of the 25th anniversary of this game will be coming to an end. One nice thing is that they've done for the community is that they've confirmed that any card that already has a quarter century secret rare print will not get a second printing of that rarity in this set. So for example, Diabellstar and Super Polymerization and Promethean Princess, which all already have quarter century secret rare printings from their core sets, will not have a quarter century secret in this, which is respectful to collectors, as opposed to what Konami is doing with the outright disrespect of reprinting Light of Destruction and Retro Pack. Again, like with the communication, it's at least a step in the right direction. You might not care for collectors, but it's respecting the people who buy your product is the right thing to do, regardless of your interest in the fanciest rarities. So kudos to Konami for that one. Did they really need to put 2 sets in 1? Probably not. This just seems weird and oddly confusing, and they probably should have not wasted a slot in Rarity Collection 2 on a card such as Sol and Luna, which I had the tremendous misfortune of pulling because I do have this in my hand, and I hate it with such a vehement passion that I want to end it all, as denoted by the gun pointed to my fucking head, which, fun fact, both of these things in each hand evoke the same emotion in me. I hate this. I do not like it. Why did you put this in the goddamn set? All in all, it's going to be like the last 2, in that it's going to be decent, probably with some solid reprints and probably some garbage like Sol and Luna. Going off of House of Champs' math that I trust, since this retails at $5.99, the cost per card is the highest out of the 3 sets. And of course, there's the comment that the 200 cards in a pool and only 24 of those cards in a box. So like you're not it's going to be pretty hard or not as easy to get the quarter century secret rares of that luxury rarity, which is pretty yucky. But then I guess they're just following the trend they set by the fucking tins, aren't they? Besides, to focus on that would be to ignore the most pressing issue in regards to this set, and that is, would Rarity of Collection 3 have been a yellow pack or a green one? We got red for Rarity Collection 1 and blue for 2, but what would the 3rd color have been? Surely it would have been yellow, right? But what if they had made it green? We have been denied the answer we want most, Konami, so fucking tell me, what color would this shit have been? I need to know. And that's all I've got. The Fiend Smiths are all secret rare and you can't afford this shit anyways. Thanks as always to LIFD for the sponsoring of my channel. The best way to support me financially and the true duelist way to show off your cards, like not the Fiend Smith engine, because if you buy that, you aren't just throwing in one of these, let me tell you. You could though. You could if you wanted. Promo code YGOStrats15 for 15% off, or click the link in the description. Either way, it's a thanks to LIFD for the support, and of course a thank to you for watching. As always, my name is Gregory Feganite, and that's it. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. You'll impress your smoking Italian wife, you'll become a true duelist, and we'll figure out exactly what to do with this absolute piece of garbage that plagues my mind.